Good evening, shed dwellers. We are back again for another episode of Shedmouth Junction. Excuse me a sec. I'm just resetting everything because this is the second time I've recorded this. The first time it went a bit wafty with the sound. Anyway, good evening all. How are we doing? Welcome back to the shed. And I thought I'm going to sit out here and bore you all to death for about 20 minutes regarding just stuff which is across the internet and whatnot over the last week or so, and something I thought I might want to throw my two penneth in with. Let me just get this wire up a second before I trip over it. Now then, okay, where to start? I think I'm going to start with thank yous again. Once a second video on the bounce, I have to say thank you to all the people out there following us. I cannot believe there are over 300 of you who actually want to see me again. I mean, good God, are you all mad or what? You're crazy, you lot, blimey. But thank you very, very much. It's very, 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 very heartwarming. And yeah, absolutely amazing. On that note, actually, I mean, you guys all seem very, very nice people, and I'm very, very proud to have you with me on the channel here. One thing I have noticed in this hobby is generally everyone's really, really nice. But just like every other hobby I'm in, there is an element of agginess. Okay, now it seems to be in all hobbies that I've been involved with. I don't go on Facebook forums. I don't comment on forums and that sort of stuff because it's just too much. There's too many different people's opinions that clash, and very rarely actually on the same train of thought. One person just has an opinion, and then it fights with someone else's opinion, and then someone else comes in with their two penneth, and it ends up being just a massive argument. Now, I'm generally a mug half full kind of guy, as you can see by my mug of tea here. I don't get into arguments. I don't get into debates. I don't enjoy it. I distance myself as much as possible from the agginess of the world, and I'm a great believer in life's too short to get aggy. It really, really is. Life's way too short. And that's one thing I want to talk about, actually. That's quite an interesting subject, is agginess. Now, as you all know, if you're watching the previous videos from my channel, that I am fresh back into this hobby after many, many years away from it. And as a kid, you couldn't afford stuff anyway, but you know, as an adult, you can come back into it with a bit of a fresh mind and look at it. Now, coming back in again, the first thing I'm looking at is the big Hornby badge on everything, because in my head as a kid, Hornby was the only people doing stuff that I could relate to. You know, Hornby was everything. Electric, Hornby railways, oh, you name it, Hornby was the place. And living a stone's throw away from Margate, it's like it's home. You know, for me, Hornby is everything. Hornby is nostalgia. It is model railways, and you know, like Tamiya is to model car racers. A lot of us, not all of us, some people are a bit kosho, but Tamiya to me is what I grew up with. It's nostalgia. It's for me everything. Same as Hornby. Okay, so imagine my shock and horror to come back into this hobby, and wherever I look on the internet, it's just Hornby being slagged off left, right, and centre for things that I don't know about. I wouldn't have a clue. I can pick up vibes from people that people are unhappy about the quality, people are unhappy about the price increases, people are unhappy about the service, the underhand tactics of Hornby. I don't know any of this stuff. Okay, so bear with me. I'm only picking up little bits. With all that bad press, if Hornby weren't around, I wouldn't be doing this, because Hornby for me, regardless of what situation you're in present day, I love them to pieces. I absolutely love them. And personally, I've got lots of Hornby locos now. I haven't got a problem with one of them. They're all brilliant. They're all beautifully detailed, and they're all beautifully made, and they all run so, so well. I have got another brand of loco, which I won't mention, 5 different ones. 3 of them have issues. But I'm not the kind of person who would go online and kick and scream and shout and bawl around and, you know, get the ump. I'm not that kind of guy. Just send it back and get a replacement. You know, end of the day, the more returns they get, they will realise that in their profit margins and go, hey, hang about guys, this has gone a bit wrong, let's sort it out for the future. And that's how business works. Okay, kicking and screaming gets you nowhere, end of the day, from what I've learned over the years. And when I say what I've learned, I've been in retail for over 25 years in various establishments, starting off in the motorcycle industry since 1999 to 2013 in the motorcycle industry, and nothing is foolproof. No matter what you do in retail, no matter what you sell, no matter what product you guys buy, the amount that are made, there will be an element that is wrong. There'll be an element that is slipped past quality control. There'll be an element that is faulty. They're electronic gadgets, they're models. There'll be bits broken on various ones, which could be numerous reasons why. But there will always be, no matter what you buy in life, there will be an element of fault with a product. Okay, and it's part of life. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's all this money and it's broken. Send it back. What I don't get the agginess. I'm not an angry person. I'm a very, very happy kind of guy, and I've never seen from my side of the counter people come into me and shout and scream, this isn't right, this isn't right. And as a person, you're thinking, what have I done wrong? I'm just sold you this stuff. You know, it was fine when it left the shop. It's not fine now. I will help you best I possibly can to put this right. But for some people, that's not enough. They want to keep going and going and going. And you're thinking, oh, okay. And when that happens, you're even less, you just, it's kicking and screaming, in my point of view, gets you nowhere. Simple, polite manner talking gets you everywhere. Okay, and if you work with the manufacturer, with the supplier, with the retailer, whatever issue you get, whatever problem you have, work with them, and problems will get resolved better, quicker, generally, and hopefully, in the long term, the company making them problems or issues will resolve them. Okay, but it does seem there's an element of agginess around this hobby quite a lot. Okay, so I'll distance myself away from that. Look at the positives. Okay. The first thing that's coming across at the moment in lots of people's videos on YouTube I'm watching is cost. Okay, the hobby's got expensive. Okay, according to everybody, I'm coming back into it again. 150, 200 quid for a loco retail, to me, actually doesn't seem that bad. To you guys been in it for a long time, who can remember the days when you paid 100 quid for a full blown everything, they're gone. You know, let it go, because it ain't going to come back. Okay, now what price they are at now, they're only going to get more expensive. Okay, it's only going to go higher. There's no way it's going to return. So there's no point whinging about it. It is what it is. Okay. But let me tell you one thing. It's not just railways that are expensive. Everything is going to get expensive. Everything. Okay. And it already has. But when you're in your own little world of your hobby, you don't see what's happening outside sometimes. And the big scheme of things. Okay. Working in retail, I see it constantly. Okay, now let me give you a few examples. Push bikes, which is my current line of work. I've been doing it for about 9 years or so, working in a local bike shop. Before COVID, a standard entry-level road race bike of a decent, brilliant quality, good quality brand, would set you back about 650 quid. The same bike post-COVID is now £200 more. What's changed? The paint colour. Okay, that is it. The frame's the same. Spec, if anything, has gone down slightly because you can't get the components right now to manufacture them to the level they were before. Shimano as a company have been on and off business for the last year or so with COVID issues. Some manufacturers looking elsewhere for their components, bearings, hubs. Less quality stuff, if I'm honest with you, going on a more expensive bike. That's currently how retail is having to work to meet the demand from the customer. They want their stuff now, and as consumers, we're quite self-centered. You know, I think that's the modern world in general. You know, we want everything yesterday. We want it cheaper than the day before, and we want to have it completely faultless and never go wrong. Okay, and that's just human demand these days. That's how we've evolved into these people that want everything and want it all now, and we don't want to wait. And it's our own nature of that which puts the demands on the retailers and the manufacturers. Our own pressures force them to bring out something at a certain level, And then when it gets disappointed when it doesn't happen, okay, now these guys can do so much. You know, manufactured bicycle parts can only do so much right now. The cost of materials is going through the roof. It's insane. The cost of shipping, that is something that not everyone takes into account. Hornby stuff, I can pretty much guarantee most of it comes out of China, okay? How do you think it gets from China to the UK? It gets here on a boat, I'd imagine, in a big container ship. Now, I know from the bicycle world that shipping has gone mental price-wise. Now, a lot of our reps are saying to us, a lot of our distributors and our reps are saying that a container ship or container unit to get from across the water across here would have been, again, pre-COVID, about £4,000, okay, per unit. Currently sitting at 14 to 18 grand for that same unit to come across. So for a start, that money's got to come from somewhere. It's going to go on the product, okay, because the distributor or the manufacturer can't find an extra 10k. This, there it is on the floor, that pick it up and use that. It's going to go to the consumer to swallow that in the long run. Might not like it, but that's how it is, okay. Then there's a delay in everything. Everything comes out so slowly. They can't get the product out fast enough. There's a reason for that as well. If you're paying 10k more to get a container across the water, you want to make sure it's full, not coming back 2/3 full or 8/10 full. That thing's going to be rammed because you want to get your money's worth out of that 18k, to get a container across the water. So there's your delay straight away, let alone delay in the actual manufacturing process. We're in a weird time with, with pandemics and world wars, wars. It's a cliche, but things are happening around the world which are having a massive effect. Again, talking from my own experience in the bicycle world, e-bikes are a massive part of our market right now. We probably sell more e-bikes than we do standard bikes, with big names on the motors like Bosch, for example, Yamaha, all make electronic components. Bosch, I'd say, the biggest in the marketplace, I'd say. You try getting a Bosch battery right now. Where do you think lithium, the main source of lithium, comes from of these things? I mean, I'm only telling you what I'm hearing through Bosch and various other suppliers. It comes out of Ukraine. Now, they've currently got a few issues. And electronic components from other parts of the world. There's lots of stuff at play which is affecting everything. Okay, so your prices are going to be going up. I'm afraid to tell you, like it or not, they're going to be going up, and it ain't going to stop. Perhaps, rather than us all moan about it, is look at it in a different way. Okay, now, everything, like I say, has gone up. When I was in the motorcycle world, in 2008, I bought 2005, sorry, I bought a brand new ZX10R, Kawasaki ZX10R. That cost me 10 grand. Okay, that same bike today is 20 grand. Who's got 20 grand to buy on a motorcycle? Okay, everything's gone up. Another example right here. In 2008, I purchased this. As you know, I race model cars, or have done till recently, on a competitive level. Okay, and this little two-wheel drive buggy was the daddy in its day when I bought that, and that was £180. Today, to buy the modern equivalent, you're looking into 300, 350 quid. If I want to take it to the next level and have, I'm very lucky, I'm sponsored by a few people, so I do get bits a little bit cheaper. But this is currently a car chassis manufactured by a very good friend of mine called Will Johnson, who runs Wheel Speed. Now, Wheel Speed is basically taking a car off the shelf, your 300, 350 quid car, and they make unique bitter aluminium chassis, which are absolutely stunning, with their own design 5-speed transmission. Now, this thing here, this the chassis and the gearbox and the rear wings, 250 quid on top of your donor car, and all you get for that money is that. There's no electrics to run it. That is it. And you've got to put your tyres, your wheels, your electrics in it, race the thing. It's very expensive. Anything you do is going to be expensive these days. Okay, cycling again. You look at, you could buy a 6 grand bike off me, a 6 grand e-bike tomorrow morning, and in 1,500 miles time, which could be as little as a couple of months, you're going to need a new chain. You're going to need a new rear gear block. You're going to need a front chain ring. chains, if you've got a 12 speed, you could be looking at 80 to £100 for the latest ceramic eagle chain. You could be looking at 140 quid for the rear gear block and £100 for the front single chain ring. So the thick end of how much that comes to, 300 quid maybe, every 1500 miles, okay? 200 quid, you got it for life, okay? Look after it. And it'll always look good. It'll always look pretty. It'll always run nicely if you look after it and keep it oiled and service it. All of a sudden, that 200 quid for a loco, in the big grand scheme of things, in modern day terms, it's pretty banging, you know, compared to what you can, you know, what's 200 quid? Okay, put it into another perspective. I don't drink alcohol. I don't go to the pub. I've got no kind of social life in the pub. Doesn't interest me whatsoever. Can't do anything worse, to be honest with you. But you can do 50 quid a night in a pub. So over a month, once a week, it's a loco. You have 4 nights out or a loco for life. Actually, 200 quid's a bargain to a point, you know. Don't get me wrong, I haven't got 200 quid to blow the locomotive. I haven't got that right now. I'm not that financially well off. But having the money or the price of stuff going up means the second-hand values are going to go up as well, or slightly up. But I mean, they've got a good balance. On the consumer point of view, someone like me, I can't afford new. I can't afford a 350 quid, whatever his loco I saw on Hornby the other day, the latest steaming, smoking, flying Scotsman. But I will look straight on, you know, the selling pages and eBay and find myself a brand spanking new Flying Scotsman, you know, wartime edition, which had never been used before, for a third of the price, you know. And what I've got there is an unbelievably stunning locomotive, which looks beautiful and will last me a long time. So I think, yes, there's agonists in the world, but let's just be grateful we've actually got something to use and enjoy. Okay, let's get out to our sheds, get out to our layouts and enjoy what we've got, and be proud of what we've got, you know, rather than, you know, go on the internet and whinging about everything. It's life. It ain't changing. No point getting grumpy about it. Let's just drink lots and lots of tea, eat lots and lots of biscuits, and enjoy what we've got. We're very, very lucky people, okay? That's my 2 pence worth. In for the penny, in for the pound. Another thing to say. Oh, look, we've got some of this. Look, we've got some news. Got some news, and very exciting news, I thought. Who else with me? Who else got up the other morning and throughout the day was bombarded by the news from Hornby about the TT120 scale? I was. And I was very excited. Okay, now, I know, again, instantly I come home, I was full of beans, full of excitement. I'll tell you why I was excited. Because not only have I got the double O gauge here, which is lovely, and does run very, very nice, and has been extended. If you watch my previous videos, I've got plans to replicate Sidmouth Junction in my garage, in my shed rather. I'm trying to squeeze Sidmouth, I can't even say it, trying to squeeze Sidmouth Junction into a 12-foot shed is going to be kind of hard. With TT scale, far more chance of doing it. So for me, boom, instantly, thank you Hornby, that's a great idea. Christ, that's broken that. I know it's not new, I know it's been out before and perhaps didn't work out so well, and other brands have introduced it earlier in the year. I watched the presentation from Simon Kohler, which was about an hour long last night, and I come home from work and instantly on the internet, brilliant, and all I saw was negativity again. Just like, bloody Hornby, it's copying everybody else. They can't even get what they're doing now right, let alone this. And I thought, oh my word, come on guys, let's just give them a little bit of credit here. You know, we're in difficult times in the world right now, and they're still trying to push the envelope. Now, there's no way this thing's happened overnight. Okay, they haven't just looked at someone else and gone, oh, we're going to copy that. To see what they've already got tooled and their range already, they've got a catalogue virtually produced, and this hasn't happened in the last month or two. Okay, this has been going on for quite a while to get this far. Okay, and it's not, you can see it's not just a toe in the water. They have gone for this full bore by looking at it, and good luck to them. I think they're very brave spending all this money in such a difficult climate when they've got the reputation that they seem to have. I think that's pretty damn brave of them. I can't wait to see it in the flesh. I might not run with it. I might stick with 00 and the whole layout in 00, or I might split it half and half. I just don't know yet. but it's exciting for me because now I've got options. Okay, and there's probably loads of people like me out there thinking, hang on, no, this is doable. Okay, we can put it in a small shed. We can have a bit of fun with this. We can hide it from the missus under bed without her knowing about it. You know. Yeah, so I can't wait for that. That's exciting stuff. Anyway, that's my view on that. See, I'm just giving you all my views today. I do apologise if I'm ranting on, but I'm having a good time. Thirdly, in the news, some exciting developments on the Evie front. Bless her little heart. Honestly, the piggies were a fantastic success. And oh my God, that is so cool. There's a couple of people who you would have thought we would have, you know, there are a few people out there who are really upset by the whole thing. But I loved it. The time I spent with her making the pigs was brilliant. She's learned how to paint. She's learned how to do sanding. Her imagination could run wild. And the time I got to spend with her was a magic time. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. But she has got plans, ladies and gentlemen. She has got plans. The piggies will be put to good use on the farm, in the shed, in the garden. We have found or got hold of a load of steel track to run it outside on odd occasion. Won't be staying out there, just set it up in the morning, bring it in the evening. Evie's got some brilliant plans for a little series, okay. There is a storyline to it, and she'll narrate that in due course, but there's been little 1-minute snippets regularly on the channel, which Evie we're going to produce. And we sat down the other night, we really thought about it hard, and she's got some banging ideas, so we're going to run with those. And she will be doing some more. I mean, she's got plans for various things with a few old coaches and wagons laying around, so I'm going to let her run with it. Brilliant, in my opinion. Let her have some fun with it as well as me. And yeah, look forward to showing you all those. But yeah, it's all good stuff. It's all good. The world's good. You know, please forgive my ranting. If I upset anyone with what I've said tonight, I do apologise. Please don't write millions of comments down below of, you know, you're an idiot. Okay, because I probably won't reply to them. I'm not into getting into arguments and stuff. I don't do that sort of thing. But I just thought I could make here with a cup of tea and rant in my shed for half an hour. Anyway, yeah, it's getting on late. It's been 22 minutes since I started this, and I don't really feel like I've said anything really. But there you go. I'm going to leave you to it. Thank you very much again for tuning in. I'm really sorry I've got nothing to show you really on the layout, apart from the new Scotsman. But it is getting progressed. We are making our viaduct really well, actually. I've had to modify one slightly to accommodate a double arch, so I can put a siding through. And once that's done, I've got to build down the bottom end, put the corner back on it again, and we can have some locos running again. Currently, it's all out of bounds and nothing's linked up, and there's not a full loop at the moment. But yeah, so yeah, happy days. Thank you again for watching. I'm going to leave you a promise now, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.